Hi and welcome. This is week 9 of my 50K training series. So if you're new here, go back and watch the other ones so you're caught up and know what's going on. So week 9 was a lot better than week 8. I actually got to stick to the plan and get in on my runs, get in on my strength training, and all of the things. So let's get into it and we'll go over day by day exactly what I did. So starting with Monday, after work, I went to the gym with the sole intent to get on a bike and get 4 miles in, so 40 minutes. And I got there, no bikes were available. Typical. So I went on a machine I've never been on before. It's not elliptical, I think it's called an arc trainer or a cross trainer, whatever you want to call it. And so that's what I did, and I did it for 4 miles, so that ended up being like 37 minutes. And then moving on to Tuesday, I had my leg day per usual. That went great. Lifting heavier this week, that was good. Just slowly increasing the weight on some movements as I go through this training block. And then I had a 6 mile easy run. Obviously with hills, that went really well. That was Tuesday. So Wednesday, I had another cross training session on the arc trainer, cross trainer thing machine. Because A, I thought it was fun, and B, because I needed more miles in, and originally I was going to have it be a rest day, but then I was like, no, we'll just get some miles in on this thing, lower impact on my legs. So I just did 3 miles before work. And then the rest of the day I didn't do anything. That was work. And then moving on to Thursday, I had my upper body lift session, and that went well. Lifted heavier on certain things. And then I had 8 miles. I did that on the treadmill because it was cold outside. I didn't want to get cold. I didn't want to deal with it. So on the treadmill. And then Friday was a rest day just because I didn't get one at all during the week. It's okay, rest day. And then Saturday, me and my husband went to this fishing expo show thing in the morning, and I got like 6,000 steps there. And so I was like, I don't really need to run. I got in a lot of time on feet, just walking around that. So we're just going to call it another rest day. So 2 rest days back to back. And then today was my long run. So I had 14 miles to do today, and I did that. And I had to like really go on like my maps on my watch to really figure out exactly how long that was going to be. And like pick a little route because it ended up seeming like forever. Like when you look on the map, it looks like such a long distance. So I ran all the way down into town and around and back up, lots of hills, but I didn't really have to walk or feel the need to walk any of the hills until the last probably like 2 miles, where it's the last like home stretch, and it feels like it's all uphill. So there were some little walking sections there. But other than that, I was continually running, which is great. I did stop at a red light because you have to stop at red lights. And other than that, it was pretty well. I did have to do a lot of bouncing on and off the sidewalk because even though 90% of the snow, I feel like it's gone. Okay, maybe like 80% of the snow is gone. There's a lot of like big mounds of snow and like chunks on the sidewalk. So I had to jump off, run past it, jump back on. So I did a lot of that. But other than that, 14 miles went pretty well. Next week is the halfway mark of the string block. It will be week 10. So looking forward to that. Both exciting and very nervous, realizing there's only 10 weeks left of this. And that also marks where I'll be adding in some speed work. Just to spice it up, add some speed, try to get speed back into these legs. Because I've been solely pretty much just focusing on easy miles until this point. So that's exciting. Next week, I believe, is going to be more of a down week in terms of long run. It'll be, I believe, 10-ish miles, just because I am increasing intensity. So you don't want to increase volume and intensity at the same time. So that's why it's a lower mileage long run, even though I'm keeping the mileage up of where I am at. I'm not adding more just because I am adding in more intensity. So there's that. That's exciting. overall goals for week 10 are just going to be, continuing getting all the runs, getting at least one cross training session a week, and strength training at least twice a week, and then sleep, which will be very interesting now that daylight savings have started. So far, I don't feel that affected by it yet, but I'm sure tomorrow for work, I'm gonna be like, this is the worst thing ever, losing an hour of sleep, even though you only lose it tonight, last night, but still. So that's what I have going on. So if you want to stay up to date on this little journey and little series I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next week.